Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel Eat to Nourish. We all know our favorite junk food is not good for our body. It makes us fat and worsens our health. But what about brain? Even though we know junk food is not good for our health, we feel impossible to avoid them. Why? Our brain performs a beautiful mechanism. It sends and receives signals in the body. It helps us keep our beautiful memories in and helps us take right decisions. But can junk food be a villain to our beautiful performance of brain? To understand, we need to first understand what is junk food. The food that comes with minimal or no nutrition but high on calories is a junk food. All foods that is high in sugar, high in salt and high in fat, especially saturated fat and trans fat. All your processed food, whether eaten on the spot, maybe your French fries or packaged ones which has preservatives in it or has high sugar and high fat in it, or readily available foods like biscuits, cookies, ice creams, fruit juices, or canned soups, or frozen meals, or ready to eat any food is all your junk food. We all get attracted towards the junk food because of its look and enhanced taste. Our food industry knows it very well what we want in our fast and stressful life. If these food is commercialized by our favorite celebrity fit and gorgeous, we feel ye the best hoga. But sad part is our favorite junk food has the ability to change how we behave and learn. So, to understand what all happens in the brain, I would begin with junk addiction. Like I said, even though our conscious mind knows junk food is not good for our health, we feel impossible to avoid them. It is because of the fact that junk food has an ability to stimulate our reward system in the brain just like addictive drugs do. The brain knows when a person eats, they are doing right. So it releases a feel-good chemical in the reward system. Interpreting it is a pleasure. And brain seeks out all behaviors that release dopamine in the reward system. The problem with junk food is that it creates a reward which is way more powerful than any natural food. So when we have a craving of any food, it is because our brain requires dopamine release in the reward system. And we feel impossible to avoid it. To resist the craving, we need a major control center in the brain known as prefrontal cortex, which impairs with excess junk food. But opting to healthy food and exercise can help. But what about early 20s and under 20s? Early 20s, under 20s and their parents, be careful. Because the major control center, that is prefrontal cortex, does not mature until we are in early 20s. And maybe that is the reason why teenagers sometimes act impulsively. Research has shown that when we are young, if we are drinking enough of sugary drinks, it may alter our brain development. Junk foods may destroy our brain cells. They are highly refined and contain high sugar and saturated fat, even more than our natural foods. So, like an allergic person, if eats the food he or she is allergic to may inflame the mouth. The junk food may inflame our brain, causing neuroinflammation. We have immune cells in the brain known as microglial cells responsible to eat dead cells. These cells get irregulated due to imbalanced nutrition like junk food and starts eating alive cells where they are supposed to only eat dead cells. Eventually, they destroy neuron network through which all our signals pass through. It even starts destroying an important part in the brain known as hippocampus. People with damage to hippocampus complains for being hungry all the time, because hippocampus is a place which is responsible to receive signal of fullness from the gut. So when the cells of hippocampus destroys, people remain hungry and feel like eating more and more. Hippocampus is also known as memory center. So damage to the hippocampus cells may lead to mental health disorders like depression, being sad, and it may shrink memorizing capacity. It further leads to reducing our learning capabilities. All our experiences are stored in our brain, which is formed with connections of neurons, which constantly gets reorganized in response to the dynamic environment we live in, known as neuroplasticity. But this junk food laden diet reduces this process of neuroplasticity, which is necessary for our ability to memorize and learn, and devoids formation of new brain cells known as neurons. I hope you would have understood how junk food reduces our brain's ability. After listening to all this, what's your take on this? Yes to junk food or no to junk food? Or limit our junk food intake? Very soon I'll come up with food for brain that will definitely help you. Until then, stay tuned and avoid junk. Thank you.